Come to order, please. The notice requirements of the Open Public Meeting Act for this meeting have been satisfied. If you have any electronic equipment, please turn that off as we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Attention, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would you call the roll, please?
Mayor Becker,
Here.
Commissioner Amadeo.
Here.
Commissioner Blumberg.
I am here.
We have before us for approval the minutes of our June 2nd meetings. What is your pleasure?
I'll make the motion to accept those minutes.
I second that motion.
Mayor Becker.
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo.
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg.
Yes.
We'll now open public comment. You have 3 minutes on any subject.
Sewell, 22 West Drive. Mayor, if you three amigos banditos can't keep your word when under solemn sworn oath to uphold the New Jersey State Constitution that expressly mandates in Article 8, Section 4, a thorough and efficient education, then how can we expect you banditos to keep your campaign pledges? How can you amigos say with a straight face that you've, quote, established a track record of fiscal responsibility, followed by yet another whopper that you, quote, demonstrated fiscal restraint and responsibility with your tax dollars? The record proves it, end of quote. Mayor, let's set the record straight. You three banditos have squandered untold millions of dollars because you lack the intestinal fortitude and backbone to do what needs to be done. You need only look to Brigantine to get some gumption and pluck to address the very costly running of 2 half-empty schools by engaging in perpetual procrastination. You three amigos are so daft and pixelated, you'll risk a hostile takeover of the Margate school system by the state. Trust me, it won't be pretty. A huge influx of inner-city students poses serious consequences. Most of you have never had to deal with the mayhem and bedlam of highly dysfunctional sociopathic students. If you three amigos thought the Abbott decision was unfair and unjust, then Gary Stein's Latino Coalition case will turn your quality of life upside down. It'll be downright catastrophic beyond your wildest imagination. You three banditos can't continue to underwrite the fetid cesspool of patronage and nepotism, better known as the dysfunctional school system that gobbles up 1/3 of the city budget, with the very highest K-8 cost per pupil per year, over $30,000, along with the very highest K-8 teacher salaries in the entire country. County, I'm so correct that. With what results, the Margate schools fail all 7 indices of efficiency and the dismal academic performance, with 44% of the 8th grade basic math students unable to meet even minimum math expectations. To any sane, rational person, this is totally unacceptable and cries out for immediate intervention and adult supervision. The abject failure to address this and the snafu of 7 indices of efficiency not being met, this commission just simply can't sit on its hands. Thank you, Mayor.
John, I brought you a present today. I just want to know one thing.
Small uncirculated bills.
Correct.
I can
But
be bought.
I wanted you to know one thing, John. Do you want us to sign this before I hand it to you?
Mayor, you can save it. You can post it behind you.
Okay, John. Thank you for your comments.
It's
Anyway,
always a pleasure, Mayor.
Mark Cotilli, 114 North Lancaster Avenue. You heard, John.
We're not going to hear it again,
This
are
will
we?
be something along the same lines, but not the same. I was under the understanding that you were going to have a pre-K, but when I went to the last school board meeting, it turns out it's not only a pre-K, but they're also going to have tuition students. So I want to mention something about both. the pre-K is going to seriously impact some of our businesses here in Margate. The JCC has a pre-K program. The Margate Community Church has a pre-K program. Playgroups has a pre-K program. And now Margate's going to have it. And when I brought that up, I said it was a nice idea to try to get additional students. But actually, you have 9 grades now, if you include kindergarten, that are half-filled. You're now going to have 10 grades that are half-filled. So it's really not going to make too much effect as far as the students go. But it's a different situation. You have these kids coming in there, and according to a previous superintendent, the reason was, according to our current superintendent, the reason he gave was that we're required to have a pre-K for these younger students, but if they're handicapped or have problems learning. Well, and he really didn't do it because he needed extra students. But according to a previous superintendent, I was told that some of these students are so handicapped or so tough to deal with, and I don't want to get into the details of it because some of it's you don't want to hear about. And I don't think parents are going to want their students. I know it's good for inclusiveness. He used the reason that they do better when they have students that are not having problems. But for those who are not having problems, they're going to be experiencing things in life that that age group doesn't normally see. And I think that may be a mistake, and a lot of parents may not like it. Also, on the tuition students, Margate spends a lot of time and money to assure that everybody going to the school is a Margate resident. And now, apparently, if you have $5,000, that's all out the window. You don't really have to be a Margate resident anymore. So that sounds a little fishy to me. Plus, the people you're going to get, if you have a good school district like Linwood, they're not going to spend $5,000 to come here and get bused every day. So you're going to get people from districts that do not do as well as Margate, and we're going to mix them in with our students. So I think that's not a good idea either. Thank you.
Thank you, Art. Any other public comment? Name and address, please.
Howard Weiss, 9707 Amherst, slip A26. This is reference to the Bay Club Marina condominium and that Bay Club, the whole marina itself. I would just hope that as you're approving the plans and for egress from fire and safety for that facility, that there's a ramp that used to run through the restaurant. We don't know where the ramp is ultimately going to be. The ramp that's there now is temporary ramp to the A dock. So ultimately, when you go through all the approval processes and improving the plans, we have not gotten clarity from the owner of the restaurant where that ramp will be and how that ramp will work, and if we'll have 24/7 egress to A dock. And one other item, I know there's been some conversation or negotiations about the parking lot and spaces that'll be provided to Margate for certain hours of the day, and I think that's wonderful because of our parking challenges there. Part of our arrangements as condominium owners, we each get one parking spot within that lot. So I don't know how the negotiations between yourselves and Mr. Lamberti for that, but technically there's 51 condos. He owns, I believe, 31 of them. We own the remainder of it, the condominium association, and we just want to make sure there's still parking spots as part of our arrangement and within the master deed. Thank you.
I can answer that, Mayor.
Thank you. Hold on one second.
Sir, I can answer your 2 questions. First off, the ramps, the DEP requires, it's a state law, public access to those docks. So the temporary access right now is only through construction. We're going to have to live with it this summer. Sure. We didn't approve the plans for the marina. The marina itself is the DEP It was approved when the application for the bulkhead was submitted to the DEP some 2 years ago. So with that said, there are designated platforms that'll receive the ramps so that you'll have access. I'm not sure if there's three. I think there was 2 accesses prior to the demolition.
Yes,
The one access was at the center of the restaurant, if I'm correct.
correct.
I think the other one is going to be where the electric generator is. In that area, there's going to be a platform, basically where the new sheets that are completed on the north end, there's a platform that's got to be, it wasn't a part of the bulkhead contract, will be installed, and there'll be a ramp there. And on the far end, the southern end, that ramp that exists after the bulkhead's put in will be replaced the same way the one on the north end is. So that has already been approved by the DEP. It's a state law. He has to have those public access points for the marina. And as far as the parking lot goes, the 24, I think it's 68 spots. There's 24 spots that are designated for his restaurant business from 5 p.m. to midnight. We have an arrangement with him. The city has use of those same 24 spots from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. So we have no effect on any of the original assignments of spaces to the condominium owners. That is a part of the decision and resolution from the planning board when he got permission to build that marina.
So it's 24 spots, is that correct?
The city will have use of during the daylight hours, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Your spots for condominium boat owners, dock owners, still remain.
Excellent, thank you. And just to the ramp, and this is some of the clarity that we haven't been able to get. Yes, there's a ramp, what we call the southern ramp that services D dock.
Yeah.
It does not connect through to A dock.
But the new design, when you see it, it's all going to connect. I don't have the plans with me right now.
Okay.
We have them in City Hall. If you want to come see them,
I would.
I'll be willing to show them to you. They're in our building department. They've been approved by the DEP. The only thing that the city has on the approval process for this construction site is anything landward of the bulkhead. Anything seaward of the bulkhead is all DEP. We have nothing to do with that. And the
Okay,
DEP, trust me, the DEP is all about public access. That's their mantra. So you have nothing to worry about.
Well,
Okay,
we'll
thank you, sir.
I'm telling you have nothing to worry about.
because he told us there's still gonna be a ramp that he's gonna put from the restaurant, but you don't have 24/7 access. He was saying that the north ramp, so we had a north ramp, then we had the ramp at the
Middle.
restaurant, and then we had the south ramp. So the center ramp, he said, will still be through the restaurant, but you will not have access around the clock, as we did before. That's what was told us by Lambert.
He can't do that.
Well, that's what we said.
Okay. Well,
Thank you.
now that we've settled that, let's move on. Any other public comment?
Hi, gentlemen. My name is Jim Duncan. I live at 4 South Adams Avenue. And I'm hoping that you can help me. The reason I'm here is the parking lot across from Johnny's. They just redid it. Actually, today they're putting in the machines that you put your credit card in to go in and out. Now, when they came to redo that whole thing, when they originally put that parking lot in, there was supposed to be a solid fence all the way around because when they drive in the front, the lights come right into my bedroom. So we went through all that, and that was fine. Now, whoever this is that come to redo this, they put up a chain link fence, the chain link fence they put up, and now in the back, they put up a light. No, 2 lights. And I live the back of my property is 25 feet from that, or 30 feet from that light. Now, when I stand in my house inside that 6-foot door, I'm eye level with those bulbs because the pole's only about 15 feet high. So I have 2 big, not the yellow lights, fellas, but the bright lights
LED.
right in my eyeballs. I mean, it hurts your eyes in the living room. Now, that said, the golf course, I'm with you guys. I'm whatever you want to do, as long as it's reasonable. the golf course, I had no problem with over there. You know, those guys, I worked with that guy, it was fine. If somebody would have just, the truth is, you could put that light anywhere on that, and it wouldn't bother me except right where it's at. Would you guys like to look at the
Jimmy,
pictures?
Mayor, may I?
Go ahead.
Through the chair. I spoke with Roger McLaurin, our zoning officer, earlier today.
Yes.
And he did say to me, they have to shield that fixture because he cannot, our zoning laws do not
Yeah.
allow him light infiltration to your property.
Yeah.
So he has to put, he either has to.
He does have sides on it. It
Well-
does have sides, but it doesn't matter. When you're standing here and your side is right here and your eyeball is right in this light, it don't make a, if you look, you can see what, I took a
What I'll
picture.
do is I'll have him go look at it. I'll have Roger go look at it tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll be with him. We'll go over there. I know.
Well,
where you-
listen, do me a favor, knock on my door so you
I-
can stand in my house and,
I know where you live. I
Okay.
will.
Okay?
all right, look, I'm willing to work with you.
We'll look at it.
All right, thank
Listen,
you.
Jimmy, we understand. That's
Okay.
not right.
All right, thanks.
Any other public comment?
Ed Berger, 9402 Amherst Avenue. It's time for your summertime lineup. On behalf of the Margate Business Association, I want to share with everybody what's coming up in the next couple of weeks. The farmers market started this morning over at Steve and Cookies. I always advise everybody, if you're going to go there, make sure you get there early because the blueberry pies go really fast. Thrilling Thursdays start on July 4th. It's an 8-week program. It's the farmers market in the morning, sidewalk sales on all the retail streets. It's a free beach tag day for people to come in and sample our beautiful city. Every evening at sunset by Lucy the Elephant, we'll be doing a movie on the beach for the kids. We hope you can grab your beach chairs and come on down and enjoy it. The Bag It Forward program is in full swing and working very successfully. We've already distributed about 11,000 of the cloth bags. There's some samples over here, and I hope everybody takes them home. I want to remind everybody that that's something that's completely privately funded. It's supported by the business community entirely. The bags I brought today are sponsored by Wawa, which was an enormous accomplishment on behalf of our staff. And if it wasn't for the image of the city, certainly Wawa wouldn't have considered participating in this. They themselves are distributing 5,000 cloth bags instead of plastic bags over the course of the summertime, with an average use of 5 times for a recyclable bag. I mean, the program right now is hopefully keeping anywhere between 50 and 70,000 plastic bags out of the environment, and it's just really getting started. We have another 4,000 bags that will be distributed, and Wawa is going to do another run as well. The Planet's Biggest Beach Party is next Saturday. We also want you to know that Friday morning, really early, you should turn on your television sets because both Channel 17 and Channel 29 will be here. They're running 9 segments from Margate. We're going to run a couple from Lucy, but most of them from the Beach Dock site where the Public Works guys are going to be setting up. It's going to be a great morning in Margate, and we're going to get some great PR out of it as well. The sidewalk sales, again, each individual weekend. Of course, July 4th weekend, the Margate Mothers, and the 4th of July fireworks. We also had our scholarships this past weekend. It must be Scholarship Week in Margate. I want to congratulate Jake LaMonica and Alec Freeman, both of whom won our essay contests and both received $2,500 checks. The third leg of the Margate Business Association Scholarship Program is the Margate Children's Fund. We also allocate $2,500 a year towards that. It's administered through the school system. It's done anonymously. And when people look at a wonderful community like ours, they very rarely think about kids in the wintertime going without coats or not being able to pay for prescriptions or not being able to get to the doctor's office. But it exists here, and that fund feeds that. So we're looking forward to a great summer. We want to thank the city again on all levels. None of our events would be possible without you. And just one more time, thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Ed. Any further comment?
Yeah, my name is Barry Sherman. I live at 9510 Amherst Avenue. I counted about 25 parking spaces that are chained off on Amherst. Some of them from sinkholes, some of them for all kinds of reasons that I just couldn't even go into all of them. I want to know why the city's not addressing that with 4th of July weekend being next weekend. And I have another issue. I called Atlantic City Electric because the street lights on the bay side of Amherst Avenue from Adams to Coolidge are not working. I've called them twice. and I haven't gotten any response, and I thought maybe you guys could apply more pressure than just a regular guy like me. Thank you.
We'll be in touch with Atlantic Electric. I think the parking spots are being worked on. Am I correct on that?
Yes.
Not for a while.
Right.
Maybe they get their plans, but they haven't been working on for a
Well,
while.
we opened up like 8 of them today.
Okay, good timing, right? Anyone else?
Steve Warner, 103 North Sumner Avenue. I heard a rumor that some money is available to reline Atlantic Avenue, and there's being considered that there's going to be one lane each way of traffic and a turning lane and widen the bike paths. Has anybody else heard that? No.
That was discussed a couple years back, Steve, but nothing current that I know of.
Okay, well, I was just, if it is being thought about, my group, the Margate Concerned Citizens Group, was in favor of, number one, lowering the speed limit to 25 miles an hour on Atlantic Avenue, which was done. And we also were in favor of relining Atlantic Avenue to have it one way each way and a turning lane and widen the bike paths. I think that would be a good thing for the city. We thought it was, the state came down here like 3 or 4 years ago and they thought it was good. And I think it's a good idea too. It's certainly worth a try. I mean, the worst comes to worst, you just say, we'll go back to the 2 lanes. But it's certainly going to be safer, especially the left turn, for the left turns. That's where most of the accidents are from the left turn. So I think maybe if there's a grant or something from the state to pay for that, I think it would be worth looking at.
Thank you, Steve.
Sure.
Chuck Shaman, 1 North Granville. Regarding, I wasn't going to say anything, but since that was brought up about Atlantic Avenue being restriped, if you make a 1 lane in each direction, all you're going to do is move the traffic either on Ventnor Avenue onto Winchester or Monmouth, depending which way the cars want to go. And the problem with the bike lanes is not so much the width of the lanes, it's the bikers. They like to go 2 and 3 across. They don't pay any attention when the lights change. They don't pay any attention to pedestrians. Giving them a wider lane is not going to make it safer for pedestrians or bikers. The left turn lane would be nice at some spots. But I would also like to see on Ventnor Avenue, I live at Granville and Ventnor, and there is virtually no police supervision of the traffic in terms of U-turns. People make U-turns at the intersection itself. People will park in the crosswalks so that when you're crossing Granville, you now have to walk into the traffic that's on coming down Granville when they have a light to be safe. And I realize the police don't want to make Margate into a police state in terms of traffic enforcement, but I do believe that some concern should be made because we've been very lucky in Margate. There has not been a very serious accident between Granville and Douglas, between U-turns, speeding. The traffic light at Granville was more or less a suggestion that a red light, that they stop. And it'd be very nice if something could be done to check on that situation and to do a little enforcement. I realize it's not easy, but as I said, I think Margate's been lucky there hasn't been a serious incident at that intersection or along there in all these years. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our Class 2s will be on bikes in those areas all summer long.
Anyone else? Is there a motion to close public comment?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Mayor Becker,
Yes?
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
We'll now open public comment on adoption of ordinances and resolutions. Is there any public comment on that part of the agenda? Come back.
Denny, where are you going? I was going to buy you a drink.
Is there a motion to close public comment?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Mayor Becker,
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo.
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg.
Yes.
Johanna, carry on, please.
May I have a motion for adoption of ordinance number 6, 2019, an ordinance amending Chapter 91?
Make that motion.
I'll
Second.
second it.
Third.
Yep.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for resolution number 140, 2019, authorizing payments of claims?
So moved.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for resolution number 141, 2019, authorizing approval of 2019-2020 Margate City liquor license?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
In our consent agenda, we have pulled resolution number 149, 2019, authorizing the lease agreement. So the consent agenda is resolutions number 142, 2019 through 148, 2019, 150, 2019 through 152, 2019. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for resolution number 153, 2019, authorizing ad interim 30-day liquor license for Sensational Desserts?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
And at this time, we have a resolution number 145, 2019, authorizing closed session for litigation of Lambertis.
154.
154.
Or 154,
I'll
sorry.
make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
We will go into executive session. Once again, we apologize. We will let you know what happens in executive session. If you care to wait, please do.
Okay, we're on.
Is there a motion to come out of executive session?
I will make that motion.
Oh, you're teaching the gun class?
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Abbott.
Okay, so we're coming out of the executive session, and we
Oh, we have to go back into.
would like
Oh,
to go
don't we?
regular? Okay.
Sorry. We need a motion to go into reconvene.
I'll make that. Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Mr. Abbott.
Okay, so now that we've come out of executive, we need to make a determination as to move forward. We've had discussion of what should be done with regarding the request for extension by 9707 Amherst Marina LLC to extend the completion date of the bulkhead. And so if I understand this correctly, I will need a motion and a second. The motion would be to allow the extension for completion date, subject to the following terms and conditions. Number one, if anybody wants to make this motion. Number one, the 24 spaces will be made available for public use 24 hours a day until the restaurant structure receives its certificate of occupancy. Number two, July 15th is the deadline for the, I'll call it Amherst Marina, to provide proof of its financing from the dock, showing that it does in fact have a firm loan in place. Number three, July 16th will be the deadline for the commencement of the foundation piling. Number four, the bulkhead work must start no later than August 5. Number five, the bulkhead must be completed no later than November 1, 2019. All these provisions will be based on time is of the essence, and any breach of them or non-completion on these set dates are grounds for default. The city can and will declare default of the entire agreement.
I will make that motion.
I'll second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
I'll second that motion.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Turn it off.
All right.